Hi, welcome to How to Walk the Earth with Wisdom. This is where we research and discuss things from Wikipedia about how to do pretty much a lot of different things. Today is how to be a good student. So it's easy to just fall behind in school whether you're smart or not. It's a lot of work. Set yourself up for success. And again, I will put a link to this Wikipedia page, and we are just going to make some notes about some cool things that Wikipedia says. So, organize your school materials. Whether it's 2 weeks before school or 2 weeks before school ends, organize your material. And I think obviously we probably don't want to wait until 2 weeks before school ends. But this means your folders, your binders, all your papers, and everything you need for every class. Being organized actually works so much easier. So here are a few ideas. Buy binders for every class. On the inner flap, put the syllabus. Then start organizing your homework and the sheets your teacher gives you out in chronological order. So that's point one. And let's go down to point two. Make yourself a study space. You know how they say, never to work in bed? That's because if you work in bed, it suddenly becomes a place for work and not for sleep. We associate activities with where we do them. To take advantage of this, make a place at home just for studying. When you get there, your mind will go into the study zone automatically because it's the only association with that place, and I have just been one to be like, I'm gonna study on my bed. And I have seen some YouTubers, if you were to search like how to be a student and get A's, I've seen some videos where a student is like working on their bed or near their bed, and I'm not sure if they're, the ones that made that video got A's, but I definitely think, this is like, if you're probably going to want to have a space, that is not necessarily your bed, because then you'll be just like sleeping, taking notes, and yeah. Okay, so get your textbook early. So this is a big one actually. I'm actually interested to hear what they have to say for this. Most teachers from 6th grade to college will supply you with a list of books needed for the year before the school year starts, or at least the very beginning. Get this list and get on getting your textbooks. Then ruffle through them and get familiar with how they're set up. Start reading the first chapters as soon as possible, whether it's assigned or not. Wow, yeah, so, when I was at college, I have definitely, it's so good to have the bookstore there, because you can just go and get your books whenever you have that ability. Like if you lose the book during semester or something, you can get another one and different things like that. So that's a big one. Okay, ask about supplementary readings too. Your teacher probably has a book or two he or she didn't put on the list, but almost did. This book can make for good supplemental reading, which will help you understand whatever it is you're studying and give a fuller picture. So I want to do that, It's kind of like common to just sort of go to your textbook for everything, and when you're a student, you don't really think about, getting another textbook, or getting not even a textbook, but another book about the subject. It's kind of like, I haven't really thought of that before. Okay, so 5, talk to your teachers about what they're looking for. Start a conversation with your teachers about their class. What do they emphasize? Participation, originality, reading, etc. What will make it easy to succeed? Do they do extra credit? Do they do a lot of group work? Will there be a lot of writing in the class? Knowing these things can help you understand what's expected of you. So, part 2 is just studying every day. And I'm just making a note 24/7. So make note-taking fun and memorable. If you're writing down every single word your teacher says, you're going to get so bored. You're going to have far too many notes to go over at home. Instead, stick to the important stuff and make it fun. Here are a few ideas. Turn sentences into charts or pictures. Turn it into a pie chart. It'll be easier to see in your notes too. Use mnemonics to help you remember. What are the colors of the rainbow? Why? Use highlighters. The more color your notes have, the more fun they'll be to read. And I've seen a lot of people doing this one. So, some people will like definitely, mark up their book with highlighters. And I have definitely like gone to this, maybe not, I've gone to the store to get pens like this one, and I'll be underlining things, but I'm starting to get into the habit more of, actually doing a lot of highlighting with it. Do the reading the night before. Most students seem to either not do the readings at all or sort of skim through them during the class while the teacher is talking about them. Don't be that student. Whether it seems important or not, always do the reading before class. In class, you'll know exactly what's going on when your teacher ends up calling your name. So yeah, this is a good point. So you never want to you want to prepare for your class, and this is a good point that they're making, you never want to not do the reading or something like that because you'll just kind of be behind, Okay, don't put off your homework. If you want to actually understand your homework, do it thoroughly and get the best grade on it possible. You can't do it on the ride to school the morning of. When you get home that night, sit down and get it over with. Then you can go watch TV, play video games, and worry about it the next morning. Yeah, so that's another good point. They basically are saying, when you have that homework, do it right away. Don't just put it off and play the video game first. Do the homework and then, play the video game after. Or even, I've heard of some people saying, do work and then have a secondary type of, play maybe a small game for 10 minutes on your phone or something and then go back to the work. But don't try to do them both at the same time. Okay, go to class every day and pay attention too. Lots of teachers give points just for showing up. Why give those points up when all you have to do is walk in the door? But beyond that, lots of teachers give participation points too. Raise your hand even if you don't know the answer. Your teacher will appreciate you trying the hardest. Yeah, so in this case, I'm not sure if they're talking about necessarily for college, because I feel like if you're in college and you raise your hand and you don't know the answer, you're just gonna be embarrassed. So I think they're talking about maybe, middle school or elementary school, you can probably get away with just raising your hand just to, participate. But I probably wouldn't do that in college or even at a business meeting. You're just like, hey, and then you're like, oh, I was just raising my hand, or that's probably not gonna fly. Okay, set yourself goals. Everybody needs something to work toward. If you don't have goals, you won't know what it is you want to get done. To motivate yourself, make concrete goals you can reach for. Straight A's, an hour of studying each night, X number of pages read throughout the week. They can be whatever you think you would keep you going. So yeah, I think the reality of, hey, there are people who get straight A's. So if that is your goal, then, you can do that. And, if your goal is, to get, a number of pages read, I think they're just saying, set realistic goals. So get a tutor if need be. School is hard, especially when you have other things to balance in your life. Sometimes even smart kids need a tutor. Talk to your teacher, counselor, or parents about getting a tutor to help you get awesome grades and focus. Sometimes older students do it for their school credit for free too. Yeah, that's a big one. So even if you're like in like elementary school, middle school, high school, you know, I had a tutor when I was in like middle school, and that really helped. Even in college, you know, I went to tutoring and things like that. And, you know, when I was in like elementary school, it was a big help, you know, like, you can definitely like be missing points, and they have like Sylvan Learning School and things like that, and definitely cool. Okay, acing tests and projects. Work in a study group. Studies have shown that students that work in groups of 3 to 4, no more, get better test results than those who study alone or in large groups. So grab 2 to 3 friends and make plans for studying. It'll be more fun than studying alone anyway. Start studying or working well beforehand. Whether it's a big test or project, the last thing you want to do is to have to do it all in 1 or 2 days before it's due. Start on it a week or 2 before, and make sure that you have plenty of time in case there were things were to go wrong. That makes sense? All right, so I'm probably about halfway through this first one. So ask about extra credit. Some teachers have great extra credit policies where you can do a little bit of extra work in order to get tacked onto your test and project score. If you're looking for a little extra nudge in the right direction, talk to your teacher about doing extra credit. I think everyone probably knows that, but to actually kind of remember to ask for extra credit, yeah, probably, you know, you might forget about that. Okay. Don't bother cramming. The verdict is in cramming. Cramming for tests makes your scores worse. Why? And let's see, they have a little link here. So that reference is newsroom.ucla.edu. So, you know, UCLA, I mean, that's a credible school. So they're basically saying, you know, your brain can't function on little to no sleep, making it impossible to remember what you studied for all night. You know, I don't really know too many people who have crammed and studying and have consistently, you know, been successful, I guess, in a way of, I know people like who have studied along the week and then have crammed and done well, but to not study the whole week and then cram like the last day before the test, I could totally see what they're saying. Okay, we'll just power through these next ones. Take breaks more often than you think. Keep your materials with you wherever you go. Volunteer in your free time. Participate in athletics, drama, music, or art. Join a group or club. Take different kinds of classes. If your school doesn't have an activity, start it. And they show kind of a picture of chess club, you know, and that's pretty much it. So, you know, join even a technology club, pre-SAT or ACT study organization, you know, things like that. So wow, that was a pretty good one. So I hope this, you know, video kind of helps anyone in the student realm. And again, this is how to walk the earth with wisdom. So we're going to be covering a whole bunch of different topics, and we're just going to be going through this in a kind of a research conversation way. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Hi, after watching this video, if you would like to know the Lord, please visit itwasjesus.com, or you can call on the name of the Lord right now. His name is Jesus, and He is able to save you from anything that you may be faced with today. He is able to give you knowledge and wisdom and power over the things that may be holding you back, like sin. God says that everybody has fallen short of the glory of God, but God's gift to us is eternal life. If you enjoyed this knowledge and wisdom video, then please invite Jesus into your heart. Why? Because He's the creator of everything. He's the creator of the world, and He is able to change us if we stick with Him. So if you like this video, please consider making Jesus a serious part of your life. Thank you, and God bless you.